Yo. Welcome back to Gridiron podcast. As always, I'm your host, JB. Joining me today again is Devontae Forever. What's going on, bro?
What's going on, Jay? How you?
I'm good, man. So let's get right into it. If you guys don't know, of course, we talking some NFL action recapping week 7. Looking forward to week 8. It's crazy how the season is flying by. You know what I mean?
Oh, definitely, for sure.
Yeah, and as always, guys, make sure you comment down below. And obviously your comment will be read on the show. We will address it. So, without further ado, man, let's get right into it. What's your initial thoughts on NFL action week 8? I mean, week 7. I'm sorry. Wow, looking forward already.
Weird week. Definitely a weird week. A lot of stuff going on this weekend. A lot of stuff going on this week. A lot of teams are starting to either crumble, fall, but I think these 2 weeks are coming up are going to be crucial, as in the trade deadline's coming up. So this is going to be a time where it's like if you're in that chopping block, either you got to play good or you out the door. That's what it's looking
Right.
like. That's what it's looking like for a lot of teams.
And correct me if I'm wrong. So that it now the deadline is after week 8, right?
Yep, it's November 1st.
All right, yeah, because I remember I'm still thinking the old format where it was week 6, it was over. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, all right, real quick, week 7. Obviously, we know you're a Steelers fan. We know they had the Sunday night game against Miami. They lost. How you feeling about your Steelers as we getting more and more into it right now?
Yeah. We deserve what's happening this year is honestly what we deserve. I'm not fronting, I can't lie. Like everything that's happening is what we deserve. Do I think we're gonna beat the Eagles on Sunday? Not a chance in hell.
Okay,
Not a chance in hell. This is going to be Mike Tomlin's first losing season. I agree with that.
already
But
like already
this is
going
it.
there.
This is it. This is it. Like we may finish 8 and 9 or something, but
Okay,
like because like the rest of our schedule is not that crazy, but we're not where we need to be. And I just don't want I know how Steeler Nation is. Steeler Nation is type wild. This is going to be his first losing season. I don't want to hear no fire Mike Tomlin after this 1 year. I'm not trying to hear that. I'm not that's where I'm like, this is where we, and I'll say it on air. If we fire Mike Tomlin, I will not be watching no Steelers games next year.
right,
That'd be the dumbest move on the planet.
right,
Like we need to now the offense coordinator. Yeah, like he better not even get a seat on the plane. We didn't do what we needed to do to win. We dropped 5 interceptions. Like I don't understand that you're never gonna win a game dropping 5 picks. Period. You can't have 0 turnovers in the game, especially when the turnovers are given to you and you just screw them up. Our rookie quarterback got to play better, but this is the state of the Steelers this year, and it sucks, but it is what it is. Oh, it looks like he froze. I don't know what's going on. There you are.
yep. All right, so I don't know what happened. Sorry for the technical difficulties. Um, looks like it's one of those nights. Not only with me, but with also the platform that we use to broadcast the show as well. Looks like we have all types of technical difficulties, but that's not gonna stop us. All right, so let's get right into it. So we do have a comment from Reggie, from DJ R&B. Sorry, who said the Raider Wi-Fi. Sorry, everybody, the comments are not loading into the queue right now to put on the screen. So it's all good. I got him now. He said Kenny Pickett is a QB of the future, but he's going through growing pains. We will win this week though against Philly. Your thoughts to that?
I hope so. Do I see it happening? No. Why? Because our offense is so trash. Like everybody be getting on my defense, right? Because we haven't been getting like the turnovers like we used to. After the first two, four, we pitched a shutout in the second half.
Right.
As much as I'm on the defense for dropping 5 interceptions, Dolphins didn't score in the second half.
Right.
That's on the offense. That's on the offense to score. And do I think it's all Kenny Pickett's fault? Absolutely not. Our play calling is horrible. When it's just run the ball, pass, run the ball, pass. And we're not getting anywhere on these run plays because the scheme is horrible.
Right.
The passing plays. We got George Pickens, who we all know is nice. If you watch, he's nice. Why is he only getting like 6 targets a game? What are we doing? What are we doing? Like, there is no offensive play calling because we make 0 adjustments. That's the thing with the Steelers. We make no type of adjustments until it's too late. When your no huddle game is better than your actual setup and patient game, there's a problem. And that's the offensive coordinator's fault.
Yeah. Yeah, you got a point. All right, so let's get into some of these comments. DJ R&B, Eagles are smoke and mirrors. We can move the ball on them. Again, as soon as I can access the chat on the screen, I will. And then Sharon Mullen, yo, what up? All right, so let's get right into the first thing we talking about this week. Let's talk about some old heads who are struggling. Brady and Rodgers, man, their offenses are, I could say, non-existent, which is probably the first time we've ever seen that, at least at the same time. Both have had some struggles, but not like this. Brady, obviously, we know, won 2 Super Bowls in the last 4 years. Rodgers is literally the back-to-back MVP. And both of them, not only do they continue to lose games, but they also can't seem to get out of their own way. And they're playing bad as well as their offense is playing bad. So I ask you, which offense do you have more faith in going forward? Tampa Bay's or Green Bay's?
Green Bay, because they can run the ball better. They run the ball better. The Bucks just have so many injuries on the offensive line.
Okay.
Like I said this in a couple weeks ago earlier on the show. Like, I'm so tired of people thinking that why does next man up only apply to every position but quarterback? Like, I think that's just pretty stupid. Like, not having all these great offensive linemen hurts no matter who your backup is. There is no next man up. All that, I think that's all garbage.
Right.
Like, for example, you take Aaron Donald off the defensive line of the Rams getting smoked. Like, I'm sorry. Like, you can't like, he's like, Aaron Donald's a once in a generation type player. I don't care if he's not playing quarterback. If he's not there, you ain't doing nothing. Like,
right.
I think the Packers are just gonna have to change their identity, and I think that's what they're in the middle of. Like, they're gonna have to be a more play action pass kind of team. They're gonna really just have to run the ball, and I think that's what they're trying to figure out, because now they don't got a dog in Devontae Adams anymore.
Sure.
But yeah, like, and with Brady, I'm sorry, like, you look, bro, everybody hurt always, or something's always going wrong. Like, Mike Evans, I love Mike Evans. 1, he was fighting. 2, Mike Evans get hurt a lot.
He does.
Chris Godwin get hurt a lot. Russell Gage, are we for real? Are we for real? There ain't no Gronk. There ain't no AB.
Sure.
It's a whole different thing for him, where it's like, he ain't throwing to nobody. But, like, is Brady also playing bad? I will be the first person to tell you, yes.
No, yeah, yes. He is.
Yes.
They both are.
Yes. They're both playing bad. But, like, if you're asking me which more I got faith in, I'm rocking the Packers.
So I'm literally going. I was going Packers until this past Sunday when Rodgers started freaking out, because usually even if the Packers are struggling, he's that guy laid back and relax. You know what I mean? RELAX, relax, everything cool. But when he started screaming on the sideline, "What the F are we doing? What the F are we doing?" I'm like, because Rodgers, now Brady, we seen him scream at teammates and the refs and all that. To me, that's nothing, right? But when Rodgers started screaming, he's usually the quiet guy pointing the finger. But when he started screaming, "What the F are we doing?" I'm like, it might be trouble in Green Bay. In the comments, Sharon says Green Bay, she has more faith in Green Bay going forward, although she hates both teams. She hates both quarterbacks. Understandable. Milton Maloney was good, bro. He said, pick it, pack it, sack it, Eagles by 28. So I think Tampa going forward, I think they will be able to get, obviously they're not going to be able to replace somebody like a Tristan Wirth, Donovan Smith, but they will be able to get the run game going. I think Fournette is a good back, although sometimes I'm like, like whether he came in out of shape or whatever, like he's a good back. I think the Bucks, to be honest, and I hate to say it this way, I feel like the Bucks thought they could just kind of chill out into the playoffs, right? And that's not how it works in the NFL. Yeah, sometimes you can, but you got to be a really good team to be able to do that. And both, I think the Bucks have a losing record. I think the Packers do too now. And you find yourself deep in a hole all of a sudden. Now a team like Atlanta, even though they just lost, they're gaining on Tampa and the standings. The Packers ain't gonna catch the Vikings at this point, so it's hard to tell. I have a little bit more faith in Tampa only because they do have like Godwin's going to continue to get better with his knee. Julio Jones will play in the big games. He's not going to play in some of the slack off games. That's just how he is at this stage in his career. So I have a little bit more faith, but it's not high. I think both actually are struggling. And it's funny how the old guys, Matt Ryan just got benched. Meanwhile, Mahomes is thriving. Josh Allen is thriving. Lamar, like I know he had some struggles, but he's doing well. Justin Fields looked pretty good last night. I think Russell Wilson is struggling. I think we're starting to get to that time where the new guard is here to stay. So Sharon Mullen, Julio Jones won't help them at all. He never does. Can't get on the field. I agree though. He can't get on the field. I think Julio will probably play the wild card weekend, right? Have a big game and then somehow miss the divisional round. That's Julio. Yeah. And it sucks because I would like to see him healthy like throughout a career, but at this point, it kind of is what it is. F Julio Jones by Sharon. When he's on the field, he can't find the end zone. That's also from Sharon. And yeah, like for such a, I say, once in a generation type talent at the size, the strength, the speed, his touchdown numbers are like remarkably low, man. Like it's actually crazy how and he's not that much of a red zone threat. All right, let's get on to the next thing. All right. So we talked about the old guys. Now let's talk about I'm not saying new. Let's talk about two teams that are hopped in and kind of made some noise. New York. We knew the Bills coming into the season was supposed to be the juggernaut. I won't say they're a juggernaut. I will say they're probably the most balanced team in the league. But I'm gonna ask you this: we're 7 weeks in now, right? Giants are 6-1. Jets are what, 4-2? I believe they're 4-2. 5-2. Yeah, I forgot because they didn't have their bye yet. Are both teams real? And by real, I'm not saying are both teams going to win the Super Bowl or are both teams going to the Super Bowl. But what I'm saying is, because usually we think Jets bottom of the AFC East, we think Giants usually fighting with Washington for bottom of the NFC East. Are both these teams are their futures bright going forward, or do you think this year's kind of a admiration, next year is back to business as usual?
Jets definitely have a future because Jets have been building for this for a long time. I think the Jets definitely going to have a future.
Okay.
Am I really 100% sold on Zach Wilson yet? Nope, not yet. But they definitely had all the pieces, especially with losing Breece Hall hurts. But then they just traded to get James Robinson out of Jacksonville.
Big pickup. Yep.
Yeah. So I think they definitely have a future. That culture in the Jets is that sucky losing culture in the Jets is definitely starting to change.
Right.
And I'm good, and that's really good for them. But do I think they're a playoff contender this year? Not yet. No, not yet. Not yet. But they're getting there. They remind me a lot of how people saw Detroit, where it's they got something, but it's not there yet.
It's not ready.
Wait on it. But wait on it. That's really how I look at the Jets. The Giants definitely impressed me, especially with Dayball, and I really think that the way they're playing, I think Dayball can get them into the wild card for sure. Do I think they're gonna now? And I hate even saying that because we're from New York, so they get in the wild card. All of a sudden, they're Super Bowl contenders, hands down. Stop it. But I think the way they run the ball with Daniel Jones and Saquon effectively, and the way they play defense very well, I can see. And with there's not really a solid hands down 5 teams in the NFC that look great besides Philly, maybe the Vikings. Other than that, you don't really got a stacked 5 teams in the NFC.
Right. There's questions.
So there's so many questions. So why not? I don't see a reason why the Giants can't make the playoffs.
All right, so I think both futures are bright. In terms of are they both real playoff contenders? I think Giants got a little easier road than the Jets. Just
Me
and
too.
then we're gonna get into our top five each conference in a little bit, but I'm looking at Philly. Okay, Giants ain't gonna catch Philly. I know they're only technically one game back. Philly would have to have some injuries to kind of get caught, right?
Mm.
Okay, the battle with Dallas. All right, so I know that's tough in their own division, but I'm looking at it. Are two teams gonna come out the South? Probably not, right? Just a divisional winner. The
Mm.
North, okay, maybe Green Bay can make some noise. The Bears, although I was impressed with what I saw last night, I don't think the Bears are going to make the playoffs,
No.
and neither the Lions. But I like what they both got going forward. So it's really, I think, right now it's just Minnesota. We'll see what Green Bay, if they can shake the dust off and get back. The West, I'm not impressed with the Rams. I know they just had the week off, but I'm not impressed with the Rams at all. The Niners, we know the quarterback situation there. I like what I'm seeing from Seattle. So but I don't. Again, is two teams going to come out of that? Maybe, but that still leaves two wildcard spots.
Mm-hmm.
So I think the Giants have a much easier road. I think the Jets losing Brees Hall hurts. I know they just signed James Robinson. It's going to be a little tough though. You know what I mean? Because now you got to. The way Jacksonville ran the rock is not the way the Jets run the ball. So let's get to these comments. Sharon, I've been calling out Julio for the last 5 years. A lot of us have, actually. Milton Maloney, Giants are not real. They are going to be smoked at some point. Yeah, the Giants, look, my philosophy is there's a bunch of teams who are like 8-9, 9-8. You win a couple close games, now all of a sudden you're 10 wins, 11 wins. Lose a couple, now all of a sudden you're 5-6 wins, right? I think the Giants are like that. I think they're like a middle of the pack team who just winning these close games. That's what the Raiders were last year. Everybody's saying Raiders, won 10 games. I'm like, yeah, we won 7 close ones. You know what I mean? So, like, of course, like, that's how you get to 10 wins. You got to win and I get it. I'm not saying, like, they're trash, but what I'm saying is, like, when you win the close games, you never know what can happen. Look at the Bengals last year, right? All right, so DJ R&B, both are pretenders. Jets will be legit next year, though. Too young. I don't think the Giants are a pretender. I kind of disagree with that because I think the defense is good. Not amazing. They're not like world beaters. I think the defense is good. And for some reason, defenses around the league forget that Daniel Jones can run the ball. And Saquon Barkley seems to be back. DJ R&B again. Vikings come out the NFC this year. Whoo, I can see why you're saying that, but the NFC is up in the air, man. So technically, you could be right, but that's a wow. I'm not even impressed from what I'm seeing from the Vikings. So like that's a tough ask, man. He said 6-11 and 11-6 are the same team. One team just learned to win close games. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, like
absolutely.
The way the ball bounces. Yeah, like
100%.
exactly. Like I'll use my team for example. The Raiders won 7 close games this year and lost the first 4 close games this year. You know what I mean? So like you never know what you're gonna get. Like the way the ball bounces. Sharon also picked the Vikings too. Look, I like what they got defensively for Minnesota. I like the run game. I'm not as sour on Kurt as a lot of people are with Cousins. I want to see them put it all together. And this could be the year, but right now I would still probably roll with Philly. So let's get into this next thing we're talking about. I've been wanting to talk about this for a few weeks now, but now we're finally here. Seattle Seahawks, man. Now, this segment is not to throw shade on Russell Wilson. We know the struggles in Denver. As Devontae knows, I said Denver is going to struggle this year as well as the Raiders because I was like, new coaching, whatever. I'll give them a year of grace, right? And I expect to see Denver, Vegas. And I mean, it's a little hard to say because the Giants, right, got a new coach and now they're balling. But I said Raiders and Broncos next year I'll evaluate. But I didn't expect Seattle, and I think a lot of folks didn't expect Seattle to like get off to this start. They just beat the Chargers team, which a lot of people had going to the Super Bowl. Now, I didn't think the Chargers was going that far, but a lot of people had the Chargers going to the Super Bowl, and Seattle not only beat them, they smoked them. Like, I watched that game. They beat them up on offense. They beat them up on defense. So let me ask you this, man. We know what Pete Carroll, his style, run the rock, play defense, right? And then make big throws on third down. Is Seattle better off without Russell? Because we know the pressure he's putting on with the let Russ cook and out and all that. Are they better off without Russell Wilson? Do you think things will kind of revert back to the normal?
Eventually, they'll revert back to the normal, but I mean, like longevity wise, probably not. But I think right now, yes. But also, you got to think about these things. Is it's easy to play in the NFL when you have when you have no
Underdog.
expectations, you have no fear, like you have
Sure.
no fear. Um, for example, like nobody was planning for Geno Smith. How do you plan for Geno Smith? You don't. There's not a lot of great tape on Geno Smith for years and years and years and end. There was no great tape
Right.
on Geno Smith. Um, but now he's doing his thing. Like you gotta give it up when you give it up. And they got. I think what we're seeing is what a team also does when you have a great draft. Like for Seattle had a great draft with taking Charles
Quietly too.
Cross, Kenneth
Quietly, yeah.
Walker. Like they had a great draft. They drafted some great players. Um, so now I think what we're seeing is what um a good scheme does and a great coach or what a great coach is and Pete Carroll. Pete Carroll's a great freaking coach. Like he's one of the better coaches in the last 10 years that just nobody talks about.
Right.
He changed his offense and it's working for him. Do I think Seattle is better without Russell Wilson? You have to say yes for that right now, but like I'm not listening to nobody who says Geno Smith is better than Russell Wilson. Like I'm not,
no,
nah,
no.
like
We're not
doing that. We're not doing that.
Like if you know me, you know I always say systems matter, right? Like the system
Absolutely.
Brady had, it took him a little while to kind of adapt to Bruce Arians. He was throwing picks. Then he kind of went back to that short passing game, and they won the Super Bowl, right? So I'm not here to beat up on Russell Wilson. Like I know some of the stuff going on in Denver is his fault, but like I said, I give him a year. I give him a year. I give Carr a year and a new offense and everything, despite having Devontae Adams. But I like what they're doing in Seattle, and I know some people are like it's luck, or some people. I even think Sharon said that in the chat. But I really think that what they're doing works. I think it still works in the NFL, man.
Yep.
Geno Smith, he always could throw. He always had an arm. He always was accurate. His problem was turnovers. How do you limit turnovers? Well, you run the ball on first down, you get about 8 yards, right? And you run the ball on second down, you either get the first down or you don't. And then in the red zone, now this is where I will give Geno Smith credit. In the red zone this year, he's been pretty lights out.
Oh, absolutely.
Seattle don't kick a lot of field goals, man. They've been scoring a lot of touchdowns in the red zone. Now, will that change after you get more tape on them? Maybe, but right now, Seattle, I think they don't feel the pressure no more to have Russ, because like at one point, Russ was throwing the ball 45 times per game. I like Russell Wilson a lot, but that's a lot to be throwing the ball for anybody. You know what I mean? Run the ball, especially in Seattle's always had good run blocking offensive lines. Not always pass blocking, but like good run blocking offensive lines. So I'm happy that they're running the rock. The defense is getting a little better week by week. The corner they got, who you said in the draft, he's looking really special right now. So I will say Seattle's better off this year, but that is not to say that Smith is better than Wilson. Let's get to these comments. Shout out to Dwayne for watching too as well, man. Of course, you missed the Jets talk. All right, so Milton Maloney, Vikings have to come to Philly. Good luck. That's going to be a good game, man.
That's going to be a really good game.
That's going to be a real good game. Sharon, I'm not putting this all on Geno's success. So no. I'm talking team now. I'm talking team. I think with Geno, they allows them to run the ball without the pressure from fans to quote unquote let Russ cook. Sharon again, the Chargers are whack. I call that too. Look, when I talk about the Chargers, people get upset and they say, oh, it's because I'm a Raider fan. No, I think the Chiefs are great. I think the Chiefs team is great. And I hate the Chiefs more than I hate any other team in the league, but I think they're a great team. The Chargers, I think they have a great roster on paper, but I think that coach can't put it all together. And I know, and Herbert has an arm, and he has a rocket arm. But when he threw that pick, I was like, see, this is what I mean. Sometimes he'll throw it right to the guy. Because I think that sometimes he puts too much on his arm. All right. Milton Maloney again. I know this is football talk, but do the Yankees keep Aaron Judge or make a play on Ohtani? Look, I'm going to say this, and this is not based in fact by any means. I think Aaron Judge is gone. I think the Dodgers or the Giants will end up with him. I think Aaron Judge wants to go play in Cali, and it's been confirmed that he did not like him getting booed. He didn't like when Donaldson got booed. He didn't like when Urshela got booed before he was traded. He didn't like when I think the Yankee fans are starting to get to him. You hit 61, yay. You hit 62, yay. Struck out in the playoffs, boo. I think that's getting to him. So keep your eye on the Dodgers, who's really waiting to throw the bag on him. What's your quick thoughts on that?
I mean, it breaks my heart because I really don't want him to leave. But like,
Right.
let's be real here. I mean, like, bro, like, you got swept. Like, what did you expect? Like, I don't understand. Like, you got swept in the postseason. Like, this is like you ain't. And that's my thing where it's like, can you handle the pressure? Like, bro, this is the New York freaking Yankees. Like, are you serious? Like, this is not like know who you play for. This is like if you want to go to play for the Dodgers, like cool. I mean, I guess, or the Giants, where it's like expectations are less, no matter what, how much money you sign. You ain't playing in New York, bro. Like you know, like New York, we expect greatness because that's what we've been for years, and like that's what we're trying to get back to.
Right. And look, it's not fair because he did carry like July.
He carried the Yankees. He carried
the Yankees on his back. He really did.
Absolutely.
But look, man, Yankee fans are the way they are. You can say the same about the Laker fans. You can say the same about a bunch of other franchises. So like, it is what it is. I hope he knows there is pressure when you play for the Dodgers too, though. They have the same pressure, not as ruthless, but they do have the same pressure. That's all the Yankee talk we gonna get because they got swept, and I still can't process that. All right, so let's get back to the comments. Sharon, give it up for Kenneth Walker III. Yo, Kenneth, I'm not even throwing hate with what I'm about to say. Is he's such a muscular dude, like he's like stacked, right? But I'm like, yo, he be running away from everybody. He keep having these long touchdowns. I'm like, yo, like nobody can catch this dude, despite him just bouncing off people. Like it's crazy, man. Seattle know how to draft backs. They all, you know what I mean? Like I know Marshawn Lynch, he wasn't drafted, he was traded for, but still. All right. Sharon, Sharon again. Spartan Dog has been the difference maker. If Russ had stayed there, they possibly be undefeated. Yeah, because like I said, I don't think Russ is as bad as we're seeing. I do think next year, I think look out for the Raiders and Broncos. New offenses, let them get them. Like the Raiders already look better now that they're running the ball. I think if Denver can get back to that run game, despite having their backs hurt, they'll be fine too. Sharon and Milton both agree on Judge, unfortunately. All right, so let's get back to football talk because the Yankees is making me sick right now. All right. In New England, last night, Bill Belichick decided to do something that I think in Pop Warner we advised not to do, and that's play two quarterbacks. What's the old adage? If you have two quarterbacks, you really have no quarterback. And look, man, I was not a fan of Mac Jones because I didn't think he was that good. Like, I didn't think he was amazing at Alabama. Obviously, he's surrounded by some of the world's best talent when it comes to college football. But I do think Mac Jones had a good rookie year. Obviously, he went from playing in a good system with Saban to playing with a good system with Belichick. So, and I know he got off to a struggle, but let's be honest. Who's really coaching the offense in New England now that McDaniels is gone, right? So, and Zappe came in against Green Bay, and he did his thing, and they lost that game, but then they started winning. And last night, he played them both. I think Jones got pulled a little too early, and I think Zappe came in, had the 2 touchdowns, and then threw 2 pretty bad picks. One was tipped, but he's only 6 foot tall, and a lot of his passes be getting batted down. I'm going to ask you this. Who should start for New England going forward if you had to pick one? Mac Jones or Bailey Zappe?
This is a terrible question. like I really want to say neither, but like I guess I'm gonna rock with. I guess I'm gonna go. I'll probably go with Mac Jones. Mac Jones is probably your future, and like you want him to play as much as possible. And then because like the only problem I see with Mac Jones is that fact that like he's not ballsy enough. Like, you know what I mean? Like
okay,
like Tom Brady has ballsy. Like Mac Jones plays to me sometimes like he's afraid to make a mistake.
Like, yeah, he don't want to get yelled at in film.
Like that's exactly how he play, and that bothers me because like I have Mitch Trubisky like that, and I was screaming like
right,
bro,
right.
You got bro, like stop being scared. And sometimes like Mac Jones can play like, and that's the problem with playing it too conservative. But like I've said it before, I've said it again. It don't matter because like I'm the only person who's always said this. Nobody is afraid of the Patriots receivers. Not a soul. Do I think Jacoby Myers is one of like who's going to be a great receiver one day? Probably. Jacoby Myers has skill. a lot of skills as a receiver. He's talented. Devontae Parker is talented. Nobody's scared of these dudes at receiver. Like you see, like think about it. You take, for example, you're in a conference where you got Sauce Gardner, Tre'Davious White, Xavier Howard. Like you got come on,
Dogs, yeah.
like you got dogs in there. Like nobody's afraid of these receivers. Not a soul. Not a soul. You lock one up and play lock one up. You can play zone on the other side. Like nobody's afraid of these receivers to where like they're posing a threat. And the Patriots always have decent running backs, but the running backs always hurt.
Yeah, because they run them into the ground. Like
I'm sorry, like you need in this NFL, you need another star on your offense. That's also not your quarterback. Your quarterback has to be a star, but you also need somebody, a running back, a receiver. You need another star, and the Patriots simply just don't have one.
Now I got you. Let's get into these comments real quick. Sharon, Belichick, he finally made me getting old. This decision makes no sense to me. Same. Look, man, like playing two quarterbacks. The only time you pull one in my mid game is if he's hurt. Like I don't, but like just let him rock out the game. I do agree. I think start Mac Jones. I think it's his job. Like, look, if you think Zappe's that guy, Mac Jones is not the backup. Get rid of him because you can't do that to young quarterbacks. I know we see Mahomes come in and Mahomes is dominating the league. It's rare. You know what I mean? Wilson came in, he did good. Like it's rare. They got give these time. Like I sound like Michael Irvin. Give these times time to grow. Right? Yep. They need time to grow. And I think Mac Jones, I think he'll be good, man. I just think his offensive coordinator, who he worked close with, is gone. And now you're left with a bunch of defensive minds like around, like who's really calling that offense. Mm-hmm. Plus, the sophomore slump is real. Let's be honest. It's a real thing. Oh, so, yeah. I think it should be Mac Jones' job. I think Zappe comes in, but like you said, when you're playing with no expectation, of course you can come in and, you know what I mean, and start throwing touchdowns. But I think it should be Jones' job to start. Shout out to Everett E-Man for watching. Shout out to Maurice Samuels for watching as well. Appreciate it, guys. Sharon, Zappe is the next Nick Foles. Plays well when he's put in, but at this point, can't say he's franchised. Absolutely. Also, Sharon, Jones, second-year QB. Let him get it under his belt. I agree. I don't think it's fair. I think actually this could do more harm to Mac Jones than good in the long run. Some guys you could bench and it lights a fire under them. Some guys you bench and are ruined forever. So I know you don't want to talk about this, but I think it's important. So, all right, so let's get right into the next thing we're talking about. Now we're gonna start out with the AFC. We both agree the NFC is kind of in a state of flux right now. So let's go five through one. We'll each give our 5, then our 4, then our 3, then our 2 and 1. Who do you got as the 5th best team in the AFC?
Oh my God. I'll go with the 5th best team in the NFL.
AFC.
I'm my bad. I'm in the AFC. I'm probably gonna go Baltimore.
Ravens, okay.
Because like the defense is still trash, but like Lamar is still that guy. He played rough on Sunday, but he did enough. And this is the first week he played rough. Other than that, he played like Lamar has been going off. Like
sure. So for me, my 5th best team I got right now currently, I actually got the Baltimore as well. So I think Baltimore, they got to find a way to close out these games. Got to find a way to close out these games. They've led in every game they've had and blown, like in the ones they've lost, they've blown the leads, and the other ones they won, they have not blown the lead. They can find a way to close down these games. Then yeah. Who you got for number 4?
The number 4th team I got
AFC.
In the AFC. I'm gonna go Oakland. I've been liking what I've been seeing from Oakland a lot. I'm not gonna lie. Like this is like
Vegas. There's some team at Oakland.
they Oakland to me. They're Oakland to me. I'm gonna go Vegas. I like the way they've been playing, and like I like the way they're running the ball, but also still getting Devontae Adams the ball like they should be. And I'm starting to like more of what I'm seeing from Derek Carr. Lord knows I'm sorry. At this point, you need to trade Darren Waller. He always hurt. You might as well.
Right. He a rap star.
You might as well try to ship him out now, get something for him because he's always hurt.
Right.
Just don't send him to the Chiefs, please and thank you.
Right.
But like I like how Josh Jacobs has been playing out of his mind because you guys are running the ball. You realize how much running talent you guys have, especially through that offensive line.
Yep.
I actually think your secondary is hella scrappy and young. I actually like the way they play.
One veteran. Yep.
So
Deron Harmon.
So I really I'm gonna go with the Raiders. I think the Raiders are starting to put it together.
All right. So number 4, I actually have right now. It's going to sound like I'm contradicting myself when going back to what I said with the New York teams. Right now, I'm going to Jets, man. The reason why I'm going to Jets now, this is for this week, guys. I'm not saying right now, I'm not saying this is where I got them finishing. We did our playoffs last week. I think right now the Jets, I think they could run the ball. We'll see how James looks instead of Breece Hall, but they could run the ball. I think Zach Wilson has done a better job of taking care of the ball, which, to me is the most important. No picks, no fumbles, right? I think he's done a better job. The offensive line is mauling people. And that defense, like you said, Sauce Gardner, man. Look, I'm not here to say he's the best corner in the league right now. I'm not doing that. But what I'm saying is that kid is special. The way he could play the ball when it's in the air, not be all grabby like most corners in the league where they come in a bunch of pass interferences. The way he could play the ball in the air and get his head around to prevent the flag from being thrown is special. And I like what the Jets got going forward. So right now, I would give them a nod. Vegas ain't making my list because although you could say I'm a harsh fan, you have to be able to win those close games. And so far, I haven't seen it. I know they beat the Texans and they look good. I thought they looked good against the Chiefs too, to be completely honest. But I need a few more weeks because this Saints game is a game that usually same old Raiders, they'll end up dropping. If they win, then we can reevaluate next week. Who you got for 3?
Actually, you'd be surprised. 3, I did have the Jets. I had the Jets at 3.
Okay.
The way, like for this week, Breece Hall was on some stuff. Like Breece Hall, the way their defense, Quentin Williams is like a defensive player of the year contender in my eyes. Like he's been mauling people. The defense has been mauling people. I just really like what I've seen from the Jets. Like they've really been impressive to me.
Right.
So like for this week, I had a lot of fun watching the Jets play this week, and I've never said that a day in my life. I really like what I saw from the Jets this week.
I agree with that. So, all right, my number 3, I got Cincinnati, man. I think Cincinnati.
Take the Jets out. I knew I forgot somebody. Yeah, I meant the Bengals. Yeah, I forgot about the Bengals.
All right, so the Jets is off your list.
Yeah, I forgot. I totally forgot about the Bengals.
So I'm gonna keep Jets on at 4, of course, but not Cincinnati at 3, man. Look, I could talk to him blue in the face about Burrow and Chase and Higgins and forget all that, man. Their offensive line. I just telling folks, give it time. I know Burrow's getting killed to death. I mean, he's getting sacked to death and being killed first few weeks, but I'm like, give it time. I always say, offensive lines, give me about 6 weeks, 6-7 weeks. Now, granted, they did it in less, but give me like 6 or 7 weeks, right? And they're starting to look a lot better. They're cutting down on the holding penalties. I think the secondary for the defense is playing better, not as good as they closed out last year with. I think their linebacking crew, I think, is good. I think I'd probably take a few other teams in terms of their linebackers over the Bengals, but I like what they got. I like their pass rush with Hubbard and Hendrickson.
He got hurt though.
Yeah, I know. But I think right now, the Bengals are rolling. They got a tough schedule like the rest of the AFC North, so I guess we'll see like how that plays out.
I need to see them against a perennial pass rusher before I believe in that offensive line.
Shout out to Noah too for watching.
I got to see them against a perennial pass rush before I really like give their offensive line like some credit. Like the Falcons, like all the Falcons defense has is Grady Jarrett. That's all. He's the last piece they got. Like that's all they got.
I got you. All right, number 2, who you got?
Buffalo. Just because Buffalo didn't play this week, but like Buffalo. Okay. To me, the Buffalo is the best team in the AFC.
But because they had the week off.
But because they had the week off, like I'm just gonna give. Like I think we all know what my number 1 spot is. Like,
all right. So for number 2, I got Kansas City. I know they dropped the game to Buffalo, and then obviously, as they always do when they come off a loss, they come out and they put on an offensive clinic against San Fran. I know San Fran has some guys banged up as they always do. How they always get hurt, I don't know. But Kansas City right now, man, look, when Mahomes and Reed are in sync and they're on, and Bieniemy can call them plays for them and everything, they're hard to stop, man. It looks like Juju's getting it going in the new system. They have some new pieces too, you know what I mean? Like, so let's be fair, but the way they can run the ball now, offensive line is incredible, man. And their defense is still their defense. It's not quite as bad as it's been in the past, but they still got some holes to fill in. But I think Kansas City is real, man. Like, they're real, not just in the whole Tyreek Hill thing. I think both are fine where they're at. I think both are good. No issues. The Chiefs are my number 2. Number 1, who we got? And then we'll get into comments before we head over to the NFC.
Oh, I got Kansas City number 1 this week.
Kansas City number 1 this week.
Just the way they play offense now is just so like just legit. It's like watching offensive scheme a perfection. Like they now, like watching the Kansas City be able to like damn near beat you in 2 different ways is scary. It's the scariest thing you can possibly ask for. So like I think them figuring out like this is going to be very dangerous for the league.
So my number 1 team is Buffalo. I know they were off this week, so obviously we didn't get to see them play. But look, man, the last time we saw them, they beat the Chiefs, who you had at 1, I had at 2. And I think Buffalo, as long as they stay healthy, I think they're probably the best team in the AFC pound for pound, offense, defense, special teams. Get to these comments. Sharon, Baltimore, their defense not up to par. I agree with that. Just got to find a way to close games. You can't be blowing 20-point leads. I can't expect them to blow multiple 20-point leads going to the second half of the year. Oakland Raiders by Sharon. Yep. Look, I'm not high on the Raiders yet. I know what they have. I know the run game is there. Josh Jacobs' contract year looked like he just earned his money. But like I have to see them put it together. There shouldn't be a time where you got to reel off 5 wins in a row to make the playoffs. It's time for them to start playing like they have the talent they actually have. Shout out to William Brooken for watching this, man. Appreciate it, bro. Maurice Samuels, Raiders. That's right. Look, I love the Raiders, but I'm like, I watch them and sometimes I'm like, yo, just run the ball. I think Carr threw the ball way too much in the beginning of the season. I think they were trying to prove he got a new contract. Adams is the new guy with the new contract. Renfro got a new contract. Waller got. Of course, you want to throw it, but if the run game is there, take it. That's what they've been doing, and now all of a sudden, look, Raiders are starting to string together some wins. Shout out to Noah for checking out. Appreciate that, bro, as well. All right, so we got Glenn Foreman. What's up, Pops?
Happy birthday.
Of course, it was Glenn's birthday yesterday. Shout out to Pops on his birthday. All right, so he got number 5, Baltimore, number 4, Titans, 3, Cincy, 2, Bills, and Kansas City, 1. And he said Eli Apple is for sale. Leave him alone, man. All right. AJ Vanette, what's good, bro? Appreciate that. He said after AFC, Dayball for coach of the year. Brian Dayball ain't like the Giants would have to lose out for him probably not to get coach of the year. And that's no disrespect to Sirianni and Philly. But the way he turned that Giants franchise, like Eagles, like at least they made the playoffs last year, right? But the way he turned around his Giants team, he got them 6-1, and they play hard, man. Like I know, like it's the NFL, they all talented, but the Giants play hard, man. It's like whatever he's saying in the locker room, they believe. Like they believe what that man is preaching. Matt Catris, appreciate you watching, bro. Same with you, Jeremy. Bills Mafia is off, so Jeremy a little late to the show today. Probably jumping through fire tables and shit. AJ, you mean the Lamar Jackson Ravens one-man team? Look, Lamar needs some help. You know what? All lies on what the Ravens do in the draft this year. They better not be drafting offensive guards again. Glenn Foreman, responding to AJ, he said, happy birthday. No cap space, injuries he turned. Yeah, look, Giants, Dayball, coach of the year for me right now. Let's get over to the NFC, though. Top 5 teams in the NFC, and then we're going to read these comments and get out of here. Appreciate everybody for checking out the show. Hit the like and share button if you like this, or if you want to be on next week's show, hit me, and then you'll be on next week's show. All right, number 5, NFC. I know it's a state of flux right now. No, number 5, who you got?
I don't even know. 5. I'm gonna go Seattle.
Seattle Seahawks. You more impressed with the run game, the defense, Geno?
Run game, and Geno. I'm gonna go 5.
All right, so my number five team in the NFC right now, believe it or not, it's actually Dallas. Reason why, the defense, we know Micah Parsons of Leighton Vander Esch, and looks like DeMarcus Lawrence got his groove back. Secondary's playing well. I love Trayvon Diggs. He's playing way better than he did last year. I know last year he had like 11 picks, but like the coverage is better this year. But that offense, man, it's like for some reason it's like when Dak plays, they don't want to give the rock to the running backs enough. It's like when Cooper Rush was playing, it's like, yeah, we're going to run it right down their throat, and then Cooper Rush going to make a few throws, and we'll get out of here with the W. But with Dak, and I know the NFL, they love throwing the ball when the quarterback's getting all this money. I get it. But sometimes if the running is there, just run the ball. And I know they beat the Lions. Look, that's not like the Lions could throw up points, and that defense, they kind of shut them down. So props to Dallas, but that's why I got them at 5. I think they do have some offensive problems. I do think they might need to run the ball more. Not with Dak because he's still a little banged up, but like let them run the ball. Number 4, who you got in the NFC?
Number 4 for top 5 teams in the NFC this week. All right, I'm putting them in there just because like I like the way they played. I like the way they won this game. I don't give a damn.
Okay.
The Commanders. The Commanders. The Commanders. I love the way they played. I ain't gonna hold you. Like I loved the way they played. Like I legit like watched. I'm like,
okay,
it's about time they use Terry McLaurin. Like I've been like screaming at the TV for the last like 6 weeks. Like, why are they not using Terry McLaurin? Now, I literally had them in there just for this reason because like they have 2 dog receivers.
Okay.
With scary Terry McLaurin and Jahan Dotson. Jahan Dotson is going to be a dog. He's the most winning receiver on man-to-man covers. Terry McLaurin is a zone killer. So like they have a nice little tandem. And the way like I really like the way they played this week. Now, do I think they're a legit top real team in the NFC? Hell no. No.
But you're saying
this week, I love.
Okay.
No, you can't tell me you expect them to beat the Packers this week.
Look, is that more about the Commanders or more about Green Bay?
I'm going to say a mixture of both. Like they just played a good game. Like sometimes a team that's trash will play a good game, and I just think they deserve the credit.
And shout out to Heineke too. I know somehow he keeps losing his starting job every time they bring a new guy in. But look, the Commanders got talent. I know they got some injuries too. I'm not here to say that they don't have the talent. They just got to put it all together. But I do think it says something how all of a sudden Heineke comes back and Wentz is out, and now all of a sudden certain receivers is getting a rock again. So like
I'm just saying,
I'm with you on that. They are not my number 4 team. My number 4 team, man. Right now, I gotta give it to Seattle. And like I said, for everything I just said when we covered the Seahawks, the way they run the ball is incredible. I love how they one of the positions that get beat up a lot is tackles, right? Because obviously they deal with the pass rushers and they always going backwards in this pass happy league. Seattle gets their tackles on the move and they let them go and beat up linebackers for a change. You know what I mean? Beat up these pass rushers. And Seattle, besides the Niners, they're probably the best at that. I like the way Geno's playing. I like the way the defense is playing. So for right now, I'm going to rock with Seattle at number 4. And I think they might actually go up the list as we go on because like I like what they're doing. Number 3, who you got?
I got the Giants, number 3.
New York Giants.
The way they run the rock and the way they play in defense, like that goal line stand they had against Jacksonville was exactly the defense I like to see. Like, because pretty much, because in this patty cake NFL league, sometimes
that's coaching. Yeah, that's coaching.
Anybody's gonna score like 9 times out of 10 that's a touchdown. 9 times out of 10 that's probably a touchdown. But the fact that they literally just drove them off the goal line to win, that's pure coaching and that's pure hustle and effort. So I like gritty wins like that. So, like, I got the Giants at number 3.
So, this is where I probably am the shocking one. But number 3, I'm actually going Minnesota. Now, I'm going Minnesota only because I've watched them play their games. And I'm like, okay, right. You know what I mean? But I'm like, I feel like they kind of get to fly under the radar, right? Like,
Mhm.
for example, like, you know what I say about the Steelers? Whenever they fly under the radar, they win the Super Bowl. Problem is, because they are the Steelers, a storied franchise, majority of the time they don't get to fly underneath the radar. You know what I mean? And I
Mhm.
feel like the Vikings right now are like kind of under the radar. Ain't nobody, but when that pressure, because we know how Kirk Cousins plays on primetime games, right? You don't play too
Oh
hot.
yeah.
But look, the talent is there. I have nothing to say about the talent. I do wish Thielen play a little better, but look, man, I think I got the Vikings at 3 right now. I just got to see a little bit more from them. Some could say it's not fair, but hey, shout out to Brian Sousis for checking out the show as well. Appreciate it, as well as Ray Hallisey. Appreciate that. All right, number 2, who you got?
Minnesota. I got
Minnesota.
Minnesota number
Okay.
2. I like that. Justin Jefferson is so disgusting. Like, I'm sorry. Like, Justin Jefferson is going to be a terror in this game, and this is the one year, and like normally I can't stand Kirk Cousins. I gotta respect it. Kirk Cousins has been doing work. He's
Oh, he has.
He's has DC has consistent numbers. I like the way the Vikings have been playing, especially under this new coach. So like I'm gonna rock with Vikings at 2.
All right. Number 2, I got, and AJ Vanette's gonna like this, the New York Football Giants. Look, man,
New Jersey.
don't do that. If you know me, man, you know the way I love coaching, and like I love football because of like the X's and O's, right? And the way you can get your guys fired up. Sometimes it's whether it's the quarterback, the way Breeze used to have that chant with the Saints, you know what I mean? Get them hyped before the game. I don't know what the hell Dayball be saying to these dudes. When you watch the Giants play, it's like they be ready to run through a brick wall for this guy, man. And like you said, that goal line stand. No disrespect to McDaniels, but the Raiders, Brand, the Staley, a lot of these guys, Jacksonville scoring that touchdown. You know what I mean? Because they all getting paid, whatever. Dayball they swarmed to that ball so fast, man. And like you said, the run game with Barkley, he's healthy, he's back. Daniel Jones, for some, if he could just stay on his feet, he'd probably have like 1,000 yards of rushing, because like every time he runs, he like falls down for some reason. But the speed is there. He's starting to throw the ball a little better too from the pocket. They just got to figure out what they're doing with their receivers. But I like the way the Giants are playing, so I gave them my number 2 spot. But they're not number 1. Who you got for number 1 team in the NFC right now?
Philadelphia Eagles. The Philadelphia Eagles. They're the only, to me, besides Buffalo, they're the only other team that has offense and defense
and special teams, right?
And special teams. Like they're the only ones who have everything. So I don't think there's no way you can now put Philly at number 1 at this point.
So number 1 for me is same Philadelphia Eagles, man. The way Philly is playing right now, again, Sirianni, I don't think he's coaching them like Dayball is. Like, they don't seem as hungry to just devour their opponents like the way the Giants are. But the way Philly is playing, man, they're so damn talented. Like, for example, the defensive line alone with Fletcher Cox, and then like I forget half the time that Jordan Davis is on the team, despite him having the stats. I'm not saying he's not doing well, but at times I'm like, yo, who's that big ass dude? I'm like, oh, that's Jordan Davis, right? You know what I mean? And then the way Slay and the crew is playing that secondary, and again, you know me, Devontae, when the corners and they come up and tackle, not just throw a little shoulder like the way most guys do. When they come up and tackle, yo, Philly right now got the number 1 team in the NFC. So we had Philly and Buffalo. So I had Buffalo as the number 1 team in the AFC. He had the Chiefs. But we both agree with the NFC. Let's get to these comments, man. So we got Glenn Foreman. Number 5, Seattle, 4, Niners, 3, Giants, 2, Vikings, 1, Eagles. So I'm pretty sure that's so the only difference he has is the Niners. And the Niners, I'm a little concerned about that Chiefs game. Nah, I know the Chiefs could throw up points on everybody in the league, but I'm a little concerned. And again, injuries matter. The best ability is availability, which Sharon said earlier, and I agree. AJ Vanette's Seattle 5, Dallas 4, Giants 3, Vikings 2, Philly 1. 3 fucking teams in the NFC East, man. What happened? They was the NFC least last year. Now all of a sudden, matter of fact,
Brady and Rodgers letting us down.
Right, like, bro, this is crazy. You know what I mean? Like
Brady and Rodgers letting us down.
Like, I'm not mad at it because I can't stand Brady or Rodgers. Like, I'm tired of both of them, but still. Jeremy 4G, Bills ending A-Rod's year Sunday night. Obviously referring to the Bills and the Packers playing this Sunday night. Super Bowl, here we come. All right, Jeremy. I'm just saying, if the Bills don't make it to the Super Bowl, you still gonna come on the show. Like, I'm just saying,
Oh, yeah,
like,
you gonna hear that. You gonna hear that.
but I like what the Bills are doing. Jeremy 4G again. Wentz won't start another game this year. Look, Heineke keeps getting screwed over, and I know he's not lighting it up. He's not MVP like standard, but just give him the damn job every time he come
They
in.
play better for him,
right? Like they play better for him. Just give him the job. Like it's not like you paying Wentz all this money. He's making like decent money in the market, but still. All right, AJ Vanette. If Dallas beat the Giants and Niners, would have a hold on. If the Dallas didn't beat the Giants, Niners would have before a better spot. Hold on. Okay, he's talking through text, so it messed up. All right. So the locker room is everything. He's referring to the Giants, right?
Mhm.
And with Dayball got that, I would love to see Hard Knocks with the Giants next year, just to see how Dayball got that environment. Because
I'd be definitely open to seeing that.
Because Landon Collins, who just came back to the team, was like, "Yo, it's different around here, like in a good way." And I'm just interested. Shout out to Nikki John for checking us out. Appreciate it. Biggest Travis Kelce fan of all time. I'm just playing with you, bro. Jeremy 4G, only real New York team is Buffalo, homie. Look, man, we know the Giants and Jets play in Jersey, man. Don't do that. Like we know. Come on, guys. All right. Nikki John, Giants #1. Chill out. I can't put them over Philly right now. I just can't. But we do got 2 big games with the Philly and the Giants. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Those are 2 big games. So AJ Vanette, wait till February, bro. Don't jinx us. Hey, man, I just call it like I see it. Glenn Foreman, I don't believe in the boys' offense or Dak in the clutch. They look weird, like Devontae's vote for the Commanders. Yeah, man, you got the Commanders at 4. I was like, wait, what?
I gave you the reason why. I just told you I really like the way they played that game.
Right.
That's all I was saying. Not that they were actually the top 5 team in the NFC.
Right. Shout out to
in the spot.
Shout out to Guy Montgomery the 4th for watching. What's good, bro? Shout out to Bob Schmidbauer. If I pronounce that wrong, correct me in the chat. I talk football with you almost all the time, and I never knew how to pronounce your last name, bro. Nikki John, Eagles #3 until they beat a team like the Chiefs or Bills.
Well, do they play a team like the Chiefs or Bills?
I don't think Philly plays. They don't play the Chiefs. I don't think they play the Bills either. But
that's what I'm saying.
I mean, NFC East, they all play like a kind of the same schedule, except for I think 3 teams. So let's be fair. I still got Philly as 1 though. Nikki John gave the top 5 for the AFC. He said Chiefs, Bills, Eagles. No, actually, I think he's talking about the NFL. Chiefs, Bills, Eagles, Bengals, Giants. That'd be his top 5 in the NFL. Not bad. Like I said,
not bad.
I may pluck a team or 2 out, but still.
I think you gotta. I think respectfully, you might have to put the Vikings over the Giants, but like that's not correct. That's not something I think is like a big. That's not like disrespectful. That's not disrespectful.
Vikings are 5-1, 6-1.
I believe so.
5-1.
5-1. Right. I think.
Jeremy 4G, Philly won't come close when they play KC, bro. I'm sorry. Do Philly play the Chiefs this year?
Let me look the schedule up.
Because I got it right here. Hold on. I need to see this. Because if they do, that's pretty big. Now they don't play. They don't play this year.
Nope.
No,
they don't play any real offensive like powerhouses.
Yeah, so we'll see about Philly. But for right now, last one from Nikki John. I've never put in Kirk top 5 ever. So inconsistent and the worst primetime QB ever. I agree with that. I don't know what the hell it is about primetime lights when it comes to Kirk Cousins, but like, bro, like this guy would throw 5 touchdowns, no picks on a Sunday at 1 p.m. Next week, he plays Sunday night. All of a sudden, he throw 0 touchdowns and 4 picks. Like,
no, the most
I don't
inconsistent is Phil Rivers. Let's not do that. The most inconsistent is Phil Rivers of all time.
Kirk Cousins give him. I don't know about that.
Phil Rivers disgusts me. Phil Rivers disgusts me. There's one quarterback I've hated my entire life. I think Phil Rivers is absolute stat stuffer to the T.
Nikki Sean said you bet against Kirk Cousins in prime time. It's a free check. Like, yo, all right, man. Yo, we about to get out of here. Yo, appreciate you guys checking out the show, hitting the like and share button. We'll be back next week. If you guys want to be on the show, whether it's for the whole show or just a segment, let me know. AJ, if you want to come on talk about the Giants, you let me know. Nikki, you want to come on and talk about Travis Kelce and Patrick Mahomes? Cool. Or your Giants, let me know. Appreciate y'all guys for checking it out, though. Jeremy, I'm gonna be looking for you the next time the Bills lose a game, because you wasn't on that week 3 show. I noticed that. But yo, appreciate you guys. Devontae, thank you for stopping by. Let them know where they can find you.
I got you at Devontae Forever. I don't know everything.
All right, and we out. Y'all appreciate it. Catch y'all next week. Take care.